Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day, a great day. Hey, I want to come from the word evolve today. Um, I think when many people hear it, there's just a very definition of what it means. The definition I want to project to you today is transforming. Think of evolving as transforming and transforming into something good and positive. So many people want change, positive change in their life, but it requires work. And oftentimes, I'm learning that we don't want to put in the necessary work. We don't even like hearing the word work. And even to evolve requires work. I've talked to different individuals and they want a better body, they want better relationships, whether they be, marital, romantic, uh, family, whatever. But they don't want to put in the work. However, I've noticed that many of those same people think that everyone else ought to put in the work. But what that says to me is at least they acknowledge that work needs to be done. But for us to really get to a place of peace, purpose, and all of that, we have to do something. And I think sometimes when people hear the word work, they think of a laborious act that's going to be really long, that's going to require sweat. Because if you're like me, I don't mind working out, but I don't like getting sweaty. But that's how you lose weight, when you get sweaty. But results come from putting in the work. And as one who listens to a lot of things that people have to say about their life and all of that, I have concluded that most of us, I'm gonna step out on the limb and say all of us, because I have to admit, even I get, I don't want to say frustrated, but I get frazzled inside when I think about, I got to do this, I got to do that to get to this, that, or the other. But let me turn this music down a little bit so that you can hear me. There we go. So, work is not a bad thing. Work with a positive purpose and goal in mind is a good thing. It creates a good work ethic and it gives a good outlook even on life. It has so many positive effects. So don't fear when you hear you have to work. I watch people who get a diagnosis from their medical practitioner or doctor, and many times the individuals are not upset at the diagnosis, they're upset with the treatment or the prescription. You have to take this number of pills a certain time of the day, and there are people who are not schedule oriented. They don't like that responsibility. That's work for them, because I've learned what's work for one person is not necessarily work for someone else. But it's something that we all have to grapple with as human beings. And there are so many people who don't want to work, that they rather steal, steal someone's idea, steal someone's wealth or what have you, because they don't want to work. Have the mind to do it, the smarts, but don't want to work. So I just want to deal with those of you who know that you need to work at you need to work to get over maybe procrastination. You need to work to get over coveting something, or being jealous, envious. Could be hidden, secret and hidden to others, but you know you got that going on. You know that there's certain people you just don't like, and you may not even know why, but there's something about them. They haven't done anything to you, and you know it, but you're not feeling them. I'm not saying that we got to feel everybody. We got to get with everyone, because I've said this countless times, a number of times. Let me rephrase that we're not for everyone, and everyone isn't for us, and that is okay. That's the uniqueness and the beauty of how we're wired. And that's what makes it so exciting when we find people who we can connect with, and we can create a tribe with, a community with, a network. It's beautiful. But anyway, don't fear evolution. Don't fear the work that comes in evolution. Did you know there are people who fear evolution because it also requires patience? And patience is work. It's a battle of within, of the impulsiveness. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. Impatience. That battle within, that's work to deal with that. It's so much easier to just be impulsive and deal with the outcome later, and hope that whatever the outcome is, it's not that bad. What a way to live. That's not real living. When we evolve, though, it will require work, and you and I can do it, because it really requires work. If you think about it, it really requires work to remain the same. It requires effort to say, I'm not changing. So every day I'm thinking about who I am and what I want to be, and who I don't want to be. That takes work, because we're making a decision every day to either evolve or not. And when we make those decisions, it takes work. It takes work to remain a procrastinator. It takes work to remain envious and jealous of other people. It really does require a lot of effort to go through life being miserable, being a negative thinker, looking at everyone else as if they have the problem, being a fault finder. It takes work, because you're always looking for the next thing to support your stance on being a procrastinator. You're always looking for something to validate, why you don't like him, or why you don't like her, or why you think that's a bad idea, and why whatever negative thought or negative words that are spoken, it takes effort and validation. All of that is work. I'm just here to say that the power that we have, Scripture says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So just like life and death is in the power of the tongue has power, we have power within us to evolve, to change the words that we choose. And even when we find ourselves thinking or saying something that is not just inappropriate, but non-productive for us and others, we can correct that. Not just sit back and hope that, it went out there and nobody got it, no one's going to say anything. No, we heard it. We heard it. It's going to take effort to say, that wasn't right. That wasn't appropriate. To confess that. I shouldn't have said that. What I should have said was, it takes work. It takes work to apologize. It takes work to confess that we've screwed up. and where we screwed up. That's even more work to be definitive. I find that, like, even when some people think they're doing something by, well, I apologize. I've heard people say, I apologize for anything I might have done. Might have done. You did do some things, and they are, you know. I apologize for all I did. I'm sorry for whatever I did. That is not sincere. It's not authentic. It's disingenuous, because it takes effort to acknowledge, identify what you did. And I do understand some people don't know what they did. Some people are innocently ignorant of what they do. But it takes work to find out. If you're innocently ignorant, it takes work to find out, well, what did I do that's considered wrong? And really say, wow, I didn't know. My adult daughter corrected me on a term that I used. Not the other day we were talking, and she called it another name, and I said, no, it's this, and she said, no, it's that. And what she was showing me was that word was used when you were my age, and people didn't like it then, but now it's really unacceptable. You can get in some serious trouble saying that word. I acknowledge it. I felt it. And a part of me inside was like, wow. Because it was old. It's all I knew, was the word that I used in conversation, and other people used in conversation with me. But I had to evolve even in that moment. And see, oftentimes people think evolving it's time. But some people have a tendency to assume that it's going to be long. It could be something in a moment, like it was in that correction that my daughter gave me. It was like that, correction. And I had to make the decision in that moment to either hold on to the old way of thinking or accept the new. The two words dealt with the same type of thing, but one was harsher, or more harsh, I'll put it that way, than the other. I had to make a decision whether I'd accept it or not. And we have to make decisions like that every day. And for all of us, there are matters as we grow that require change. And when we say we don't need change, and we don't need work, that's when we need it the most. And people who think that they don't need work on themselves, I feel for them, because it's a part of them that has blocked out the world and wants the world to, or they want the world, I'll put it this way, they haven't blocked out the world, but they want the world to come to them. And they want the world to be what they want the world to be. And the world can be anybody, the people in their workplace, people in their family, people in their neighborhood. Their relationships are built on how they feel people ought to respond and approach and deal with them. And that's not community. That lacks reciprocation and a whole lot of things. And reciprocity is a whole nother snippet. That's one of my words. But today the word is evolve. And I'm hoping that you man up, woman up, put on your big boy, your big girl pants, panties. We used to call them drawers and bloomers. And put them on. Put them on and evolve. Don't evolve for, I'll put it this way. Evolve for yourself. Because if you evolve for yourself, you will be helping someone. It could be a child, it could be a grandchild, your child, grandchild, could be a student, it could be someone at work. Your evolution is going to bless others, but more so it's going to bless you. And of course, those of you know, a child of God is definitely going to give God the glory. So don't fear evolution. And I know some of you are saying, you're a Christian, you use the word evolution. That's because you're stuck in thinking of evolution as one-sided when we're talking about how humans were created. Come on, evolve. 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 Allow yourself to be transformed, not to how people think you ought to be, but find a place, find a way to come back to yourself, to learn who you are, to discover yourself, to find your purpose. Because when you do that, evolution for in your life will be matchless. It'll be unique. You know, your life and my life, I tell you, it's tailor-made. You know, and our purposes, only we can do it. Well, someone is saying, but there are so many people who are authors, life coaches, entrepreneurs, this, that, and the other, Stephannie. So how are we unique when there are people doing the same thing, but are they doing it the same way? And are they doing just that one thing? So if you add on all of the things that come with them and all of their background and all of these different variables, we are all unique. All of us. So work what you got and allow yourself to evolve. Well, I'm going to stop at that, and I hope that you log on to www.stephaniebooks.com and purchase one of my books, Conversations with the King, Living with the King, and Aging with Grace. I know you'll be blessed, and don't forget to book a session. My coaching sessions are specifically tailored to personal power, forgiveness, and family relationships. So I hope to see you soon. Take care and enjoy the rest of this day.